Now, what should you do? Get close to Jesus. And for those of you that have not, and seriously, this is a pitch because it's a necessary pitch, gotten my new book, Jesus, the Premise, the Promise. I have been getting reviews. People are sending me emails, even the people that have purchased that book at different parts of the world, saying thank you for sharing a Jesus that's biblical. And I never knew these things about the Lord. And that's what is so critical. Nothing we do outside of God's divine intervention, you can plan, you can prep. I believe in all those things. You can prepare. But the most important thing, plan, prepping, preparing, is praying. And I believe the reason God ordained prayer is very simple. It draws our eyes on Him, off our circumstances, and we look to Him for answers. Those of us who have a lifetime of having answered prayers or not having answered prayers can say we usually fail when we take matters into our own hands and then we try and help God out. Well, this is a time, ladies and gentlemen, where so many events are transpiring. It doesn't, how do I say this? Those of you who have lived on the internet gossip, those of you who have lived on, I think, what are they called, different forums, looking for someone else to make your opinion, those days are over. We are under, right now, the total assimilation by the techno-Borg. And to use my word, we're all being Borgified with. You can probably figure out what that means. We're being screwed with by the Borg. The internet outages, the EBT outages, all of the different Instagram, all of the messenger services. That's the Borg telling the present, don't give us a hard time. So I want you to ask yourself this, and please prepare for this. And again, pray over this. What will it be like when all the inner cities, which right now are turning into septic tanks? Isn't it interesting, the S word that the president got in trouble for when he said certain nations of the world are, let's say, sewers. Now you see in Los Angeles, even people like Dr. Drew Pinsky talking about typhoid, tuberculosis, the perfect storm for a plague. Ladies and gentlemen, it's designed that way. Look at Portland. Look at the homeless in Seattle. Look at the, how do I say this? The fecal contaminant storm that's in San Francisco, where literally they have people mapping safe zones where there's no poop zones. Ladies and gentlemen, we are under the absolute, we're reaping the fruit of the Democrats making war on God. I don't care if you're an atheist or an agnostic. You guys believe something. For those of you who are Christians that keep saying, things are going to be fine. You're just a fear monger, fear porn. By the way, those both fear monger and fear porn are CIA terms. So enjoy your world of MK Ultra. You've been MK Ultracated. The arguments cease when the internet goes down. Obviously, you've heard me and others saying that we've been deplatformed, we've been demonetized, and we're going to be de-gone pretty soon. I'm making fun of the word. Someone said, doesn't he know how to use the correct English? Don't you know how to read the signs of the times? We have to confront the days we live in. We have to confront the baby butchers. We have to confront all of the wickedness. And I want to remind everybody, the fact that the West Coast, everything that you're seeing now, pretty much destroying the country that was, officiates on the West Coast. Whether it's Hollywood, whether it's San Francisco, whether it's any of the movements in history that have brought us to this point is going to be attributed to the West Coast. I know this, Henry won't speak specifically, but I know by his silence that 5 towns and cities I wouldn't be in for all the money in the world. And by the way, I believe this so much, I've been asked to go and have some meetings with some different people in LA over some of the videos, done and the videos I'm currently doing, and I won't even go. I'm sorry, I believe it, it could be that quick. Or number 2, I don't want to get on an airplane with tuberculosis or typhoid or some form of a communicable disease. I would encourage everyone to consider right now, the fact that we're bringing in, I think, 300 plus African immigrants from the Congo. Hello. And I want to make this statement, too. This is going to be kind of cover a lot of subjects, and I'm sorry, this is how I do it. If you're offended by it, this obviously isn't a broadcast for you. But years ago, 20 years ago, I've been on talk radio now for going on past a quarter of a century, but I was talking about intentionally infected individuals with biologically transmittable diseases, and I termed those people infectons. An infecton is an intentionally infected person. Now, do you notice that you can't even say they were brought here by the illegals crossing the border because that's violating their civil rights? Well, let me tell you something. It should make all of you furious that there are American citizens on the streets, there are families, there were former middle-class people languishing while some of these immigrants are getting, up to $45,000 in benefits. I'm all for legal immigration, but without medical screening, we have committed suicide. But in case those of you have lost track of the fact, we're now in the time where every form of weather warfare, weather modification, call it geoengineering, I get a kick out of some people. If I don't call it geoengineering, they get offended. Wake the hell up. It's called weather warfare. The Air Force put out a manual years ago. Weather is a force multiplier. We own the weather 2025. Go look it up. The problem, ladies and gentlemen, is people want someone else to tell them what to think. You're beyond that realm. We're going to be left at the point where we're going to have to know the voice of God. We're going to have to know the Scripture. And you know what's funny? I remember saying years ago, mark my words, the Bible will be illegal. Already in Canada, they're arresting street preachers for even telling people about God's love. If you don't get it yet, and I know there's a lot of brothers and sisters in Canada, God bless you guys, but you need to pray as much as America. Canada has fallen into the hands of the globalists and into the hands of radical Islam, just like the United States has. And remember, ladies and gentlemen, that this war that we're seeing, ethnos against ethnos, is what Jesus spoke of in Matthew 24, when he said kingdom would rise against kingdom, nation against nation. That's the word ethnos. Look at the race war. Look at the disturbance and stirring up the races against each other. Dave Hodges has done a marvelous series of revelatory, if you will, articles as well as YouTube videos where he's telling you what's going on beneath the border. And not only is it in the southern border, ladies and gentlemen, it's in our northern border. Secret agreements to allow foreign hostiles coming into the United States. And the globalist elitists, as long as they're the ones who are left alive, they don't want this to stop. They're promulgating it. I will go on record as stating the form of Ebola that was in the Congo, I think I said this a year ago, whenever, is not a filovirus. It is not Ebola Zaire. It is not Marburg. It is not Ebola Kikwit Zaire. It's a variant strain that the CDC supposedly has a vaccine for. Well, this is a Hegelian hell injection thing. You create a biological pathogen. You release the biological pathogen. Then you make it gory enough that everybody just, literally loses it, and you say, come take our new vaccine. Oh, by the way, it only costs you this much. How do you know the very same bioweapon they're initiating does not have a pathogenic binary time release in it that you think, oh, great, I'm not bleeding from my orifices now, and all of a sudden you drop dead? You cannot trust anything or anyone in the mainstream. You know why? Because the truth stream is under attack by the mainstream. And truth stream is based on the biblical truth of God hates unjust measures, and Jesus said he is the truth, the way, and the life. When they make war on Jesus, you must understand, they're making war on the truth. That means they will embrace the kingdom of lies. It also means that everything that is based on a lie will be taken as normal. As we're on the, June 8th, I'm sorry, I lose track of time just simply because I think my attitude, we're in the end time, so it's almost an all-consuming thing with me. But the revelations of the flying saucers, we're going from acknowledgement to acceptance. We're being moved by the mainstream press. That's why you're seeing the Navy stuff on Fox News and others now into the revelation. When I speak of disclosure, I'm going to change the way. I do not believe that there's aliens coming. I believe the aliens have been here for literally thousands of years. The fallen angels have been here since the fall of the angelic one-third hosts of heaven. The demons have been here since the fallen angels polluted everything, including mankind and animal kind, to try and destroy everything that God created after his image and likeness in mankind, but also saw that it was good. The atmosphere you used to know, with blue skies smiling at you and the white, glorious cumulus clouds, normal weather in the winter, normal weather in the spring, normal weather in the summer, it's gone. When at Branson last year, when I spoke, and I think I've said this so many times on the different talk radio programs, I made the statement that the word normal will never be used again. And I stand by that statement. And even people I know that have listened to me, they call me up and now it's like they're panicked. Sorry, I'm not a MD, and there's a better solution than, good night, happy pills. There's a better solution than antidepressants. So the point being is that now everything is coming at us.